In this lesson, we are going to learn about stacks and queues. So let us start with the introduction. Data structures organize storage in computers so that we can efficiently access and change data. Stacks and queues are some of the earliest data structures defined. Stacks and queues are simple to learn and easy to implement, and the uses are pretty common. Let us begin with stacks. So stacks, like the name suggests, follows the last in, first out, that is the LIFO principle, as if stacking coins on top of the other. The last coin we put on the top is the one that is the first to be removed from the stack later on. To implement a stack, we use two simple operations. First one is push, which adds an element to the top of the stack. And the second one is pop, which removes the element at the top of the stack. Now let us begin with implementing stacks using lists. Let us create an empty list, letters. We are going to add elements to the list letters using the append method. Letters.append A. Letters.append E. Letters.append F. Letters.append H. Adding elements to the list using the append method ensures the push operation of the stack. Now, let us try removing elements from the list using the pop method. Letters.pop. This deletes the last item added to the list, that is H. So we are left with A, E, and F. Next, let us talk about queues. Queues, like the name suggests, follows the first in, first out, that is the FIFO principle, as if we are waiting in a queue for the movie tickets. So the first one to stand in line is the first one to buy a ticket, and the last one standing in the line is the last one to buy. To implement a queue, we have two simple operations. First one is enqueue, which adds an element to the end of the queue. And the second one is dequeue, which removes the element at the beginning of the queue. Now, let us try implementing a queue using the list. Create a list called fruits. We are going to add elements into the list using the append method. Fruits.append mango, fruits.append banana, fruits.append apple, fruits.append guava. Now, while removing the elements from the list, we are going to use the pop method with the first index of the list, which is 0, as the indexing in Python starts from 0. Fruits.pop 0. So this removes the item mango from the queue. The fruits which were added first into the list are removed first, which is the same behavior as that of a queue. And with this, we have learned about the implementation of stacks and queues using lists. Now, let's also learn about the implementation of stacks and queues using the dequeue library. So Python has a dequeue library that provides a sequence with efficient methods to work as a stack or a queue. Dequeue is short for double-ended queue. Now, let us try implementing a stack using the dequeue library. So first of all, we will have to import the dequeue library from the collections module. From collections, import dequeue. Then we have to initialize the dequeue with a list. Numbers is equal to dequeue. Next, we can add items into the dequeue stack using the append function. Numbers.append 23. Numbers.append 45. Numbers.append 12. Numbers.append 54. You can see that we have successfully added items into the dequeue stack. Now, Let's also try to remove items from the dequeue stack. We have to make sure that we remove the last item of the dequeue stack, which we can do by using the pop method. Numbers.pop. This removes the last item from the dequeue stack. So we are left with the items 23, 45, and 12 in the dequeue stack, as 54 has been removed using the pop method. So we have seen how we can implement a stack using the dequeue library. Let us also check how we can implement a queue using the dequeue library. Let us initialize the queue using a variable named names. Names is equal to dequeue. Then we can add items into the dequeue using the append method. Names.append Radhika. Names.append Shyam. Names.append Ravi. Names.append Shivani. After executing the code, you can see that items Radhika, Shyam, Ravi, and Shivani have been added into the queue. Finally, to remove items from the dequeue, dequeue has a method called popleft. The popleft method removes the first item from the queue. When we execute the code, we can see that Radhika has been removed from the queue, and we are left only with the rest of the three elements, which are Shyam, Ravi, and Shivani. So with this, we have learned how we can implement stacks and queues using lists and dequeue in Python programming language.